what's that, about 3:30?
May I see your driver's license, partner?
Okay.
Do you have something else I can see, please?
I've got a draft card.
You sure don't look 21 years old.
I'm just small for my age. Thank you.
We are living in a changing society with a consequent changing framework of laws governing our society. Our attitudes concerning alcoholic beverages and our laws which reflect these attitudes have changed, especially the relationship between these beverages and the minus 21 age group. The rise or fall of our civilization depends upon our young people because they are the leaders of tomorrow, the next generation of parents and citizens. Our young people also serve today in this hour of need, bringing freshness and exuberance and ingenuity to our endeavors. Our youth can be inspired to joyfully instill in others participation in wholesome endeavors. They can do this with purpose and dedication. Now, here's a man who knows a great deal about our young people, Commissioner W.O. Newman, who heads Kentucky's Department of Public Safety.
Thank you, Governor Nunn. As you pointed out, our laws do change. Too often, people are unaware of these changes. Almost every day, we find young people getting into serious trouble because they do not know the laws or purposely disregard the laws. I know it's an old cliche, but ignorance of the law is no excuse. Everyone connected with law enforcement should make it his duty to help inform the public not only about current laws, but also about the penalties for their violation. I'd like to pay tribute to an institution in our state which has worked closely with the Department of Public Safety to improve our laws and methods of law enforcement, the Eastern Kentucky University. I especially want to thank the university president, Dr. Robert R. Martin, for his help in making this film and his interest in the subject matter.
Thank you, Commissioner Newman. At Eastern Kentucky University, we feel a strong obligation to work with the state's young people and adults in providing learning experiences to foster skills and attitudes that are conducive to improving traffic safety. Members of our staff had worked with great diligence and devotion on the problems of law enforcement and traffic safety. 3 of these members deserve special recognition for their work in this area. They are Dr. John Rowlett, Dean of the College of Applied Arts and Technology, Mr. Robert Posey, Director of the School of Law Enforcement, and Mr. Leslie Leach, Director of the Traffic Safety Institute. Now we would like each of you to follow the journey of 3 young people on a Saturday afternoon.
Three young people riding through a Saturday afternoon, each with great promise of the future, and each now a lawbreaker. They now have whiskey in their possession illegally. But they're not really bad kids. The girl, Pam Johnson, an honor student and treasurer of her class. Last Tuesday, when Pam blew out the candles on her birthday cake, she made a wish. She wished for John Showers. Yes, that is his real name, despite what that fictitious ID card and license reads. The one he used to buy the whiskey. But John has a lot going for him. His college scholarship is assured, and his future seems quite as bright as Pam's. A future he hopes they will share. The driver, Mark Dodson, son of a bridge designer. Power surges from that foot pedal to the road. Mark feels like a giant as the car responds. That power his to command. Power makes Mark Dodson the master, makes life good, makes him king of the harvest on a warm autumn Saturday afternoon. Somewhere near every community, there's a place where young people gather and disassociate themselves from the outside world, from society. Each generation has its favorite hideaway, where its members seek forbidden pleasures. Sometimes it's an out-of-the-way park, or a secluded forest, or a sandbank along the river. Now Saturday can really get underway. Uptight and out of sight. They're free now from the double standards and awkward indifference of a world under adult rule. Yes, it's their bag, baby. Their own thing for a few hours on a Saturday afternoon. Find the groove, man, like there's no tomorrow, like no one to cry. Life is a bird, man. Let it all hang out. The day has begun to ebb, and life along the river has become a drag.
State Police, Opera License. Yes, sir. Near the junction of 25 and 227, sir? Okay, sir. Has anybody been injured? Yes, sir. Has the ambulance already been called? Thanks, sir. Richmond 93. Richmond 93.
93 Richmond, 1020 US 60 at Frisch's.
10493 have a report of a possible fatality near the junction of 25 and 227 with
10-4 Richmond en route.
Denver, Richmond 328.
Richmond, my 1020 is junction 52, 1295 at the Encode service station. Go ahead.
10-4 328, you might proceed near the junction of 25 and 227. Possible fatality, 93 might need some assistance with.
10-4 Richmond en route.
still alive, but little more. And John Showers, too, is alive. He sees Pam and wishes desperately for some assurance, for an awakening from this ghastly nightmare, and for that warm feeling of home. But deep down, he knows that no assurance is possible. His nightmare is a reality that smashes his illusions and leaves only broken dreams, despair, and loss. For Mark, there will be no tomorrow. But yes, there will be someone to cry. His family, his friends, all those who knew him, loved him. A tragic waste of human life. John Showers can be thankful he is alive. But what he doesn't realize yet is that he will be called upon to answer for his actions.
Would the defendant, John Showers, his attorney, and the prosecuting attorney come forward? Counselor, do you have anything you would like to say on behalf of the defendant?
If the court pleases, Your Honor, I wish to point out emphatically, Your Honor, John Showers was not driving that car. He is not, I repeat, is not being charged with anything more serious than the illegal purchase and possession of liquor. This is a crime, nothing else. The defendant has pleaded guilty, Your Honor, and at this time, I wish to reiterate my plea for a suspended sentence. Thank you, Your Honor.
The court would like to hear what the prosecuting attorney has to say on this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor. My colleague has stated the legal aspects of this case, but he chooses to ignore the moral implications involved. Yes, how convenient to forget that a young boy lies dead and a beautiful girl is crippled for life, all because of what John Showers did. All because he purchased a small amount of liquor illegally. Would not that dead boy be alive today and that crippled girl be whole if John Showers hadn't bought that bottle of whiskey?
I object, Your Honor. We don't know what would have happened.
Sustained.
Your Honor, this is the very reason our juvenile liquor laws were passed. Drinking can lead to driving while intoxicated, illicit sex, dope, and other forms of law breaking. My colleague pleads that the accident and the resulting death have no relation to this case. If the defendant isn't responsible, who, may I ask, is responsible? No, we cannot allow crime to go unpunished. If we do, we'll have chaos in all the land. Therefore, Your Honor, we ask that this boy be sentenced to the maximum punishment. And by that punishment, let us say to him and all lawbreakers that they shall be responsible for their deeds and acts.
John Showers, you've been tried and entered a plea of guilty. Do you have any legal cause to show why a sentence should not now be imposed upon you?
No, Your Honor, except that I'm sorry.
It now becomes my duty to impose sentence upon you. You're charged with knowingly and willfully using false or altered identification papers for the purpose of misrepresenting your age to illegally obtain alcoholic beverages. To this charge, and with the advice of your counsel, you've entered a plea of guilty. The court therefore finds you guilty as charged and fixes your punishment at a fine of $250 and at confinement in the county jail for a period of 90 days. Officer, take charge of the prisoner. Court is adjourned.
I have read your letter 100 times, and I keep looking for the word forgive. I guess you're right when you say there's not much for us in the future, and so we will never know what we could have meant to each other. When I walked into that liquor store, I traded my college scholarship for a police record, I threw away our future, too. Why couldn't things turn out different? Why can't I stop remembering
It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon until they made a bad trip, from which there is no return.
To those business concerns that have so willingly and generously accepted their civic responsibilities, on behalf of the Governor and the Department of Public Safety of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, I extend our most profound and sincere gratitude.
Hopkinsville Milling Incorporated, Kentucky Cola Bottling Association, Frisch's Restaurants Incorporated, Triple M Corporation, Kentucky Rural Electric